When a young system engineer blows the whistle on a dangerous technology, Charlie's Angels are called to action, putting their lives on the line to protect us all. Hey guys, and welcome to my pain rule review that I feel totally obligated to share with you, the new rebooted Charlie's Angels. Rated M. The duration of this film is incredibly painful, 1 hour and 58 minutes. The director of Charlie's Angels and also one of the actors is Elizabeth Banks. And the new cast of this new pathetic reboot is Kristen Stewart as Sabina, Naomi Scott as Elena, and Ella Balinsk as Jane. Far out. One of the things that blew me away about this movie more than anything, guys, seriously, is I was genuinely actually excited to see this because they did a really good job with the trailers. Like, I actually had enthusiasm going into it. Now, if you remember the trailers at all, you'll actually remember the opening scene, one of the opening scenes, and it's a shot of Kristen Stewart's face, and it's like her eyes. I literally cannot tell you in any way, shape, or form how much her character got worse and worse and worse as the movie went on. Like, I wasn't a fan of her in the Twilight series, and I don't even remember how many of those movies I actually watched. But her in this, oh man, alive. Literally the only reason I didn't walk out of this movie, the only reason I did not walk out of this movie, guys, is because I paid for the ticket. Literally. That was the only reason. I was like, it could get good. It might get better. I need to tell you about this scene, and it is right at the start of the film. It's not the opening sequence, but it's probably the second sequence after the start of the film, where Kristen Stewart is seducing this guy, and yeah, there's a close-up shot of her eyes, and oh man, alive. Anyway, she gets pushed off a cliff. I'm not spoiling anything. She gets pushed off a cliff, and then her character is re-revealed in the most abominable, pathetic CGI helicopter I've ever seen. The helicopter came up and she's like, oh, hey, did you miss me? Or something like that. And then it flies away, and it's so blandly obvious that she's standing on a green screen stage. And like that, I'm guessing there's she's on wires or something, and it just takes her off. I was fine with the movie until I saw that. Seriously. I was totally fine with the movie until I saw that CGI. Her seduction thing was just like, I thought to myself, I really hope there's not more of this, because this sucks. And then I saw that, oh man, and it just went down and down and down from there. Oh my gosh. The thing that's blowing me away, this is the thing that's really blowing me away, is most of the critics are actually really liking this film. I seriously do not agree at all with the critics. One bit. When the credits rolled, like when the movie was over, the credits rolled, I could not walk out of the cinema fast enough. And I got to there's a corridor part where the seats end and then the actual foyer starts. And I realized there was more to it. And I'm guessing that those cameos were the original Charlie's Angels. I'm guessing. But there's post-credit scenes. When the actual credits started rolling, I have a funny feeling that there was a post-credit scene. There was no way I was sitting through long enough to even know if there was one at all. Very few times in movies have I ever thought to myself, and I wasn't even that tired. I wasn't even, I was just sitting there, I was chilled. Luckily, I wasn't tired. But very few times in cinema, literally, do I get up and actually go and get something to eat purely for the fact of eat for boredom? Literally. Really. I did. And I even got chocolate. And because I don't really like eating chocolate that heavy in movies anymore, because I'd rather eat something else. But I literally got, because I couldn't think of anything else, I'm like, oh, I need something. My mouth needed stimulants. My mouth needed stimulants. I'm not joking, you guys. I really am not. I'm even trying to think about something good to talk about this film, just so people don't, you suck! Oh, thumbs down, that was good. It's my opinion. All film is subjective, and I didn't like this film. I'm glad I watched it. I will say this. I'm so glad that I watched this film. Really glad, because I'll never watch it again. Really. For those of you who have seen my first thoughts on the Charlie's Angels review, that's why I said what I said. I'm so glad that I watched this film, because I'll never, ever need to watch this again. I need to talk about Kirsten Stewart's character again. They were so deliberate in trying to make her funny. I guess that's what it was supposed to be, funny. I didn't get it. It just wasn't funny. It was so silly. Now, one thing I have to say, which I'm a little bit surprised about, I really am. I think I know why it got a rating for M, but there's a scene in this film that I'm actually surprised that, and it was so fast, I guess that was the reason why it didn't get an MA 15+, is you actually see blood in this film. It's like literally maybe 2-3 seconds worth of footage. But I was like, wait a second, doesn't that make the rating go up? Isn't that what it is? And how a character is finished with, like, isn't that what makes the ratings go up? Shouldn't it have been rated MA 15+? But it was rated M, which I was very, very surprised about, because they're really anal with that sort of stuff. But as I said, the footage was so quick that it was like, I'm surprised. I'm genuinely surprised, guys, that I'm actually talking about this review this long. I genuinely am. I'm not going to give you guys any trivia, and the reason why is, you know what I'm about to say here, guys. Does this movie have rewatchability? Does it have rewatchability? No way. No way. Another thing about this movie that really annoyed me, it felt like there was no depth to it at all. And okay, so this is in the trailer. In the trailer, they actually go, they take the girls, the angels, and they take them into like several rooms, like dressing rooms and all that sort of stuff, and like hidden rooms and stuff. And there's gadgets all over the wall. There's gadgets everywhere. It's covered. They're covered in gadgets. And they make the biggest deal out of the fact there's gadgets everywhere. Do you honestly think they even used any of them? One. In the entire film. In the entire film, they used one gadget. And that was it. And it was the most... it was just such a lame... It was like a wannabe James Bond film with no depth in any sense of the word. Literally. Oh my gosh. This movie... one of the things that I will say about this movie is definitely for a generation audience. That's what I felt really, really strongly. That this movie was created. See, that this is a hard rebooted movie. But it's rebooted for today's generation. Because I've spoken to some dear friends of mine, and they really, really enjoyed it. And I completely understand why they really enjoyed it. Simply because of the fact of the generational era that this is aimed at. Because I guess when I was younger, and the first Charlie, not the original Charlie's Angels, but the Charlie's Angels that I remember, the Cameron Diaz Charlie's Angels, that Charlie's Angels, for me, that was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome, chicks fighting, and rewatching that, I look back and go, how did I I don't think I liked it, but it was fun for what it was. And this one is definitely a niche generational audience Charlie's Angels. That's the positive thing that I'll give you about this movie. Guys, I'm sorry, this is a definite, absolute no from me from this movie. Would I encourage you to go and see it? Personally, if you're interested to see a movie like this, if you like any of the actors, man, Naomi, gosh, she's amazing. But in this movie, there was just, as I said, guys, there's just no depth. There is just no depth to her character in any way, shape, or form. Guys, I normally give my subscribers, viewers, trivia to end with, just to say a little bit about, but I just don't want to encourage you to go see it. I'm really sorry, guys. I really genuinely am in every way, shape, or form. This movie was not in any way, shape, or form my cup of tea. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, if you liked it, what did you like about it? Oh, I'd love to hear your comments in the comment section below. If you haven't, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. For those of you who have, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't, subscribe and click the bell for notifications. That way, anytime I drop anything, it'll be yours straight away. If you really appreciate my honest opinion about this movie review, I'd really value your thumbs up. I genuinely would appreciate that so much. If you do give a thumbs down on this movie review and you don't like it at all, can you please tell me why in the comment section below? I'd really appreciate your feedback. Thank you so much for that. I really do value that. Thank you so much. Until my next review, whichever amazing review that's going to be, and I'm just letting you know, I'm actually going to be working on a Fight Club movie review because I actually realized I haven't done one, and that movie, I spoke to someone the other day and they hadn't even seen it, and that movie is gold, and there's a lot of people who hadn't seen that movie. It is brilliant. Anyway, I'm going to do a movie review on that sometime this weekend. Hopefully I'll get around to doing that. But until my next movie review, guys, thank you so much for staying in. Thank you honestly so much for watching this review. I really value it. I genuinely do, seriously. Until my next review, guys, this is Superman Steve. Fly!